Regret. We all know that feeling, right? It's one of the most universal and, yeah, painful human emotions. That heavy sensation of looking back, wishing you could just have a do-over. But what if I told you that painful feeling isn't a flaw in our emotional software? What if it's actually a feature, a powerful tool that's literally designed to make us better? Let's dive into the surprising upside of what if.
I mean, we all do it, don't we? What if I'd taken that other job? What if I just studied a little harder? What if I hadn't said that one thing? These what-if thoughts, they're the real building blocks of regret. And it can feel like we're just torturing ourselves, you know? Stuck replaying a past we absolutely can't change.
So what is regret, really? Well, at its core, it's a comparison. It's the gap between the reality we're living in and the better reality we can so easily imagine in our heads. It's a feeling that usually comes with a side of self-blame, maybe some embarrassment, and this nagging sense that we've let ourselves down.
And look, let's be really clear here. This feeling, it can be genuinely harmful. Before we get to all the good stuff, we have to acknowledge why regret has such a terrible reputation. It's not just a passing thought. It has real, measurable effects on us.
You know, when you're dwelling on those past mistakes, it's not just in your mind. It actually triggers a real physical stress response. Your body starts pumping out more cortisol. That's our main stress hormone, the one that fuels fight or flight. And over time, that can cause some serious health issues. So that ache you feel from regret, it's real. It's not just you being dramatic.
Okay, so the mental engine that makes regret so toxic, so sticky, it's a process called rumination. It's basically when your brain gets caught in this negative feedback loop, just replaying the same what-ifs over and over again without ever getting closer to a solution. You're just spinning your wheels in the mud of the past.
And when that loop just keeps going, when it becomes chronic, the consequences can be really, really severe. Studies have linked intense, persistent regret to all sorts of things, like depression, anxiety, and just a general feeling of hopelessness. So yeah, this is the dark side of regret. And it makes total sense why we try to run from it, right? But what if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backward?
So, let's flip this on its head. What if this painful, stressful emotion isn't some kind of bug in our system? What if it's an evolutionary feature designed for a very specific and very important purpose?
I mean, this is the question that changes everything. It suggests that instead of trying to push the feeling away or suppress it, maybe we should be leaning in and trying to understand its message. What is regret actually trying to tell you?
Okay, so there's actually a scientific term for this whole what-if process. It's called counterfactual thinking. Basically, it's just your brain's amazing ability to run simulations of different realities, to imagine alternatives to things that have already happened. It's the cognitive machinery that powers regret. And as it turns out, it's absolutely central to how we learn and adapt as human beings.
And it turns out these what-if thoughts can go in two totally different directions. Sometimes we think about how things could have been worse. That's a downward counterfactual, and it usually makes us feel relieved. Whew, at least I didn't fail completely. But here's the kicker. It's those upward counterfactuals, the ones that sting, the ones that cause regret. Those are the ones that hold the key. That pain, it's a signal. It's information.
And this all leads us to a really cool idea called the functional theory of counterfactual thinking. Now that sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. It says that regret isn't just some messy emotional byproduct. No, it's a key part of a super sophisticated system that's literally built to help us learn and achieve our goals.
So how does it actually work? Well, you can think of it like a simple four-step loop. Step 1, something goes wrong. You fail an exam. Step 2, your brain immediately kicks in with an if-only thought. If only I had studied harder. And right there, that's the lesson. Step 3, that lesson helps you form a new plan. Okay, next time I will definitely study harder. And finally, step 4, you actually do it. You see, the bad feeling, the regret, it's not the end of the story. It's the engine that powers the whole learning process.
And what's really interesting is that this improvement can happen in a couple of different ways. The first one is the content-specific path. This is super direct. The regret gives you a clear lesson. I should have taken that other job offer, and use that info next time. But then there's the content-neutral path. This one's a bit more general. The negative feeling is just so uncomfortable that it motivates you to just try harder or think more carefully next time, without a specific playbook. Both paths get you to a better place.
Okay, so if regret is this useful tool, why does some regret stick with us for years, while others just fade away? Well, the answer is something researchers call the opportunity principle. And honestly, it is a game changer for understanding how our minds work.
It's actually pretty simple. The more intense your regret feels, the more your brain is telling you that you can still do something about it. If there's an open door for you to act, to fix the problem, or to apply the lesson, that regret is going to sting. It's designed to push you into action.
So think of it like your brain has two different modes for handling regret. When the opportunity to fix things is high, like you can apologize to a friend or study for the next test, your brain goes into behavior regulation mode. It uses the pain of regret to motivate you to act. But when the opportunity is low or gone completely, the past is truly unchangeable, your brain switches gears. It goes into affect regulation mode. Its job now is to help you feel better, to reframe, to heal. And that's exactly why regrets about things you truly can't change eventually start to lose their sting.
So when you really think about it, if we learn to listen to our regret instead of just, suffering from it, it becomes this incredible tool for self-discovery. It improves our decisions, it motivates us to do better, it shines a giant spotlight on what we truly value in life, and it can even make us feel more grateful for the things we got right.
A perfect way to think about this is like the check engine light in your car. Nobody likes seeing that light pop on, right? It's annoying. But you wouldn't just put a piece of tape over it because you know it's a signal. It's telling you something needs your attention. Well, regret is the check engine light for your life. It's an unpleasant signal, for sure, but it has a deeply helpful purpose.
So, I want to leave you with this one thought. Think about a regret that's been on your mind lately, and ask yourself, is the opportunity to act on the lesson from that regret still open? Can you still make amends, try again, or apply what you've learned to something new? Because if it is, then that feeling, that sting, it's not a punishment. It might just be your second chance.